Throughout history, freethinkers have outraged the religious with their wacky ideas about the virtues of free speech, reason, and of course, eating babies. Now, God is dying, and it's time to dispose of his remains. From the pits of hell, Satan sends two puppets of the imperialist West and the Zionist Jews against God, Islam, and tiny kittens to bring you their propaganda and conspire for a new world order. This is Secular Jihadists for a Muslim Enlightenment with Ali Rizvi and Armin Navabi.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Secular Jihadists for a Muslim Enlightenment. My name is Ali Rizvi, and as you know, I am with Armin Navabi, who I'm always with, right? I mean, on the podcast. You know, we're not always, and not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, I'm digging myself into a hole. Anyway, so
I know you have a crush on me, Ali. You can't hide it.
I always have a crush on you. So yeah, we are. So this is Secular Jihadists. Our website is secularjihadist.com. Just went up for everybody listening. You know, if you haven't checked it out, do go check it out. Anyway, today's episode we will be speaking to a young woman who is from Saudi Arabia, who escaped from Saudi Arabia. She left not only Saudi Arabia, but also left Islam. So we're going to be hearing her story. She has had some really amazing tweets. I discovered her on Twitter, and she's been posting videos of her, you know, just little things that she's doing. And some of it's very inspiring because I grew up in Saudi Arabia, and I remember how we lived there. And I see you, you know, kind of walking down the street, enjoying your freedom, you know, doing what you want. So I actually found it really, really inspiring. And that's why I wanted to have you on. And we're both really happy you're here. So Salwa, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah.
So
thank you.
Yeah, sure. So Salwa actually just came here. She escaped Saudi Arabia, and she's in Canada now. In addition to her, we also have one of her friends who is also from Saudi Arabia, and he's also an atheist. His name is Mustafa, and he won't be on video, but he'll be here to help Salwa, you know, to translate if we need that. So occasionally, you know, you might hear them go into Arabic, and then, you know, Mustafa will translate, and he'll let us know what she's saying, or maybe even translate our questions to her. So anyway, I'm going to stop boring everybody, right? Which I usually do. And so what, first, let's start with this. Let's start with, where are you from in Saudi Arabia? Just give us your basic bio.
Yeah, I am from Riyadh. I lived in Riyadh, and I'm actually from south of Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I born and I grew up in Riyadh. I lived all my life in Riyadh. Yeah.
Okay, and is your family over there as well? Still?
Yeah, yeah. My family area.
So what happened? How did you end up? What is your story? How you were there in Riyadh? You grew up there, and now you're in Canada. How did that happen?
I decided to leave Saudi Arabia since 6 years ago, and I tried to make a lot of a plan, and I finally in 24th of April. I may speak Arabic.
Yeah, go ahead. Speak Arabic
sure,
if that's more comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah. جلست أخطط تقريبا لمدة 6 سنوات عشان أطلع من السعودية.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, Mustafa, can you repeat that again?
Sure. I was planning for 6 years to get out of Saudi Arabia.
How about this? How about every time you finish, you want the translation to start, say Tamam. Okay? And then when you say Tamam, then Mustafa could start translating. Is that good?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Go ahead.
وقدرت أهرب بتاريخ 23 أبريل 2018. تمام؟
I was able to escape on 23rd of April, 2018.
Oh, wow. So you just came here recently. That's very recent.
Yeah.
How did you escape? How did you manage to escape? Don't you need like male guardianship or something? Like, don't you need like somebody to give you permission to be able to? Yeah.
أكيد احتجت تصاريح. لكنني خططت لهذا الشيء وسرقت جوازي من عند أهلي، وكمان سويت التصريح بجوال أبوي بعد ما سرقت جوال أبوي وهربت. وهربت هنا في الليل كانوا نايمين.
تمام.
تمام.
Yeah.
Okay. So she needed the travel pass in order to get out of the country. But first, she got her passport. And
Right.
after that, she stole her father's phone. And she made the travel pass through her father's account to herself. And she left her home at night.
Oh, so she made a
What?
travel. She stole her father's phone and then
Made a travel
then made
pass
the-
account and made an account as her father for herself.
Yeah, she used her father's account.
Holy
No,
shit.
I
Okay, go ahead.
yeah.
Yeah. I just say that I forgot the password, and they sent me code to my father phone. So I reset the password.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So what is it your father? Has your father reacted to you escaping from him? Like, have you heard from him at all?
Yeah, they called the police that that I am escaped, and I received the notification from the police because I changed the phone number of my father to my number, in the website.
Yeah. Okay.
You are. Yeah, that's pretty brave.
Were you
Wow.
were you like planning this? Like, was this like a 3-year plan that you wrote down every single step, or like this is like you wrote like jail escape plan or something? What is this? Like, how long were you planning this?
I decided to escape just 6 years ago, but I planned for the I actually act in 2016.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And so
I just.
yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, sorry, Armin. I just wanted to the audience to understand what a big risk this is for
Yeah.
somebody to do this in Saudi Arabia, and what you have to be, what situation you have to be in to do this. So, Salwa, what would have happened to you if they caught you?
Yeah, I will go to custody that's called Dar al-Riaya. It's like a prison. I will stay there forever, and it's very, very bad place. Forever, yeah. Until my guardian give me permission to get out.
Your
from
guardian
there.
means your father, right? Like either your father, or if you're married, your husband. It's kind of like it's kind of like your property, like they own you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So the police sent a notification to your owner, basically. You're like, hey, your property is running away, but you got the notification instead because you switched it to come to you.
Yeah.
That's amazing. But why were you? So what's it? I mean, this should be obvious to many people, but to people that don't know, why were you trying to escape?
Because I'm totally enslaved there, and I can't do anything. I just sit at home and eat. That's it. And they allowed me to study. That's it. Go to the university and then come back to the home. And they lock the door and sit there until the second day, and I do nothing.
And then
Really?
they marry you off to somebody? Is that how?
Yeah, until I married, and I go to another jail, and they called it's home is like a prison.
Prison, yeah.
Home is like a prison.
Prison. Yeah, prison. Sorry.
You
No.
No,
I was just repeating it. You're clear. We can understand you.
Yeah,
completely.
your English is great as well, by the way.
Right.
And basically, just for people that don't know, in Saudi Arabia, as you don't get to even go outside alone. You need, like, is that correct? Like, you need a guardian to permit you to go, even to get to the store.
Yeah.
Right. So you're basically, you have no freedom of movement, no freedom of choice, no freedom to work, no freedom to decide. Even if you do study, it was because they were kind enough to allow you to study. Like, you can't ever decide something like that on your own, right? Is that all correct?
Actually,
Yes.
in Saudi Arabia, do most girls now? I mean, a lot of girls do go to school in Saudi Arabia, though, right? I mean, to study.
Yes, they go to the school, yeah, almost all of the girls, but they always treat girls to take them to انه يقطعونهم من الدراسة، يعني لأي سبب. يعني مثلا عادي في أي لحظة ممكن تنقطع عنا، يعني نكون ندرس وفجأة تنقطع عنا بنت إنه ما تجي للمدرسة أو للجامعة لأن أبوها ما عاد هو راضي. تمام.
Girls can be stopped from going to schools at any time, and that's up to their guardians, because they can get married or stuff like that.
Okay.
And you are an ex-Muslim atheist, correct?
Yeah.
And how was that before? I mean, I'm pretty sure it was. There's very little time to be after, but just to be clear, was that before or after you left Saudi Arabia that you became an atheist?
Yeah, it's before. I am an atheist since 2014.
Okay. Wait, if you don't mind me asking, how old were you when you became an atheist?
كم عمرك؟
Yeah, I was actually 20.
So how did that
21?
how did that happen? Like, was it because of your education? Was it because you met other atheists? How did that? How does one become an atheist in Saudi Arabia?
From the internet, because we was actually our brain is almost all is closed. We can't see another person. We just know that there is a Muslim and the others is kafir. Once I began دخلت عالم الإنترنت من 2012. لكن بقيت مسلمة تقريبا لمدة 2 كنت أقرأ للقرآنيين والملحدين بس ما أثروا علي حتى طلعت داعش وبدأت بديت أتأثر وأقرأ عن الإسلام أكثر. تمام.
I started my search in 2012 and I was reading about atheists and about agnostics, but they didn't affect me until ISIS came up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So when Daesh or ISIS, when they came up, you saw that, and what about that made? I know that they were terrible, but so you know how they say, well, ISIS is not real Islam, right? So did people try to tell you that, or did you talk to anybody about it?
Yeah, they always said that ISIS does not represent Islam, but what we did study that is ISIS exactly that what we are studied in school because
wow.
Because Saudi Arabia does not perform all the Sharia law. They perform what they want, but ISIS they perform all Sharia law exactly like what we read in Quran and Hadith.
So ISIS is more Islamic than Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And this is and this is coming from somebody that lives in Saudi Arabia. It's not like this alt-right, right-wing propaganda, anti-Muslim bigots trying to misrepresent Islam. This is somebody that hasn't been exposed to this propaganda. Is basic. You've been taught by Islamic schools in an Islamic country that you came to this conclusion. Correct, right? So, what would you say to the people that would tell you They know that's not true Islam. You don't understand Islam.
No, they told us that because they just want to defend about Islam in any way, and but almost I think that atheists understand Islam more than Muslim, because some of Muslims, they just born as a Muslim and they grow up as a Muslim and they studied, but they don't think about that. They just take it as school class and then forget it.
Mm-hmm. What did some of this? So you said you were taught this in school, and I remember I actually saw some of the textbooks from Saudi Arabia, and even after 9/11, when they said that they would change them, they didn't. And for anybody, the first chapter of my book, I've actually have excerpts from these textbooks. But what did they teach you in school when you were younger about Islam and the kafirs and all of the other stuff? Can you remember any specific thing?
Yeah, Islam basically they offend the woman. Yeah, they deal with the woman like second class, and they في بعض الأحاديث أو أكثر الأحاديث كانت تهين المرأة زي عورة ناقصة عقل ودين، وترث نص، شهادتها نص، فهي تقريبا نصف الرجل. تمام.
There are hadith which say that woman is born with half a brain, half of the legacy, and what men get, and her testimony in the court is half the testimony of the men.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's actually in the Quran. It's in the Quran right there that the testimony of a woman is half, her inheritance is half.
Yeah.
So.
And testimony, her inheritance, and there's another thing that blood money is also half. Everything is half, right? So blood money is half, testimony is half. What was the other thing? Inheritance is half. And also there's hadith that says most women are going to end up in hell.
Yeah, and that they're deficient in intelligence. So when you were there as a woman there, when you went out, I remember. So I grew up in Riyadh too, in the same city that you did. And my mother and my sister, they had to wear the abaya and the headscarf and the full body cloak. Did you have to wear were you wearing the niqab as well, or the face veil, or how did you go out? How did you dress when you went out?
Yeah, I wear abaya and hijab with niqab.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Almost. Yeah.
How does it? So when you came to Canada, was that the first time that you went to public without a hijab on?
Yeah.
How did that feel?
I don't know how to describe it, but I take off abaya once in a train. Airplane. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel a little bit like I feel like that I am strange. And yeah.
It felt weird at first.
Yeah, I'm weird, and I think that all people look at me. Then I become more comfortable with that because it's easy to take it off than you wear it.
So did after you got to Canada, have you talked to anybody in Saudi Arabia, your parents, your family?
No, I don't.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't.
Is your family what was your family like? So you told us a little bit about your dad, but your father, your mother, how many brothers and sisters do you have? Were they religious, or were they strict with you?
I have 4 brothers and 2 sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all of them are Muslim.
Are they older than you or younger, or?
All of them are older than me. Only my little sister. I have one little sister.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
And they were all Muslim. They're all religious, and your parents were also very religious.
They are not very religious, but you know that they are very concerned about religion. They are not sheikh, but
Right.
yeah, but they are, yeah.
So they're not religious authorities, but they are very pious Muslims. They follow Islam very closely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
And do you so just with your siblings, do you miss them? Do you miss your family and your brothers and sisters?
No, I just miss my niece and my nephews.
Oh, your niece and nephew. So you probably had
So you're very
Yeah, the
happy.
child.
So you're very, very happy to be away from all of them.
Yeah. And I feel more comfortable than when I lived there.
How do you like Canada? How's life here? How's Canada been treating you? How's life like here?
The life here, it's almost in the first 2 months, I feel it's very great, but now I feel it's okay.
Very, very what?
Very
Great.
great.
Great?
Oh, great.
Oh, great.
Great, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But now it's okay.
Now it's okay.
So it went from great to okay?
Yeah.
What happened?
How come? What happened?
Because there is a fraud man who steal my money, and I feel so upset about that. Yeah.
Oh no!
Who stole your money?
A fraud man. He appeared like real estate, but
did you report
he
him?
doesn't.
Oh, like a fraud. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I reported them, but the government did not help me.
Oh man! Oh yeah, that's a.
Do you know who it is?
Yeah, I know him, and I see a lot of articles about him in CBC. They written article about him, and he until now no one arrested him. Oh, I don't know.
Oh, so they know. So negative articles about him, right? Like.
Yeah, negative.
Yeah.
So he's probably done that to a bunch of people.
So if anybody hears this and they want to, we'll link to your Twitter account in the description, right? So if anybody is a lawyer out there and wants to help you out, maybe they could get in touch with you.
Mm-hmm.
That's not nice. We like you're in Canada and we welcomed you with fraud, right? So if a Canadian lawyer out there is really unhappy about the way she was treated when she got here, maybe they could like try to fix this too, so that she feels more welcomed here. So yeah.
So I wanted to get back to some of the just the story of you were obviously from a large family. They were religious. You were sitting in a room all day. They wouldn't let you go out or anything. And then you made a plan to escape, and you escaped in a pretty ingenious way. But once you how did you go from did you get a flight straight to come to Canada? How did you decide to come to Canada? Were you in touch with anybody here, or how did you decide or come here?
I see some YouTube video about the people who took a refugee here, like Omar Abdulaziz, if you know him. He is a famous Mu'arib.
Famous Saudi descendant.
Yeah.
Oh, a Saudi dissident?
Descendant.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Descendants, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw some video of him. Then I decided to come here in Canada, and I see how they treat Syrian people. So I feel that if I come here, they welcoming me like them.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel Canada, it's the best country to get a refugee, to get a refugee. So. And it's more safer way, because if I want to go to Australia or New Zealand, I will go. The transit, it will be through the third countries.
Right.
So that it's very horrible. And
right.
weird. Yeah.
There was a girl that tried to go to Australia. What was her name? Amal, right? And she was stuck in the Philippines. She she was stopped in Philippines because that was the transit, and the Filipino government took her and sent her back to Saudi Arabia. And I don't know what happened to her.
We don't know. Yeah, we don't know what happened.
So because she once she got back, I think the police was waiting for her at the airport. So you made the smart decision to go on a flight that does not require a transit, right? Go on.
I learned from her, really.
Okay. You learned from her story. Jesus. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you know her at all, or?
No, I know her from the internet only. I just hear about her. I don't know her. Yeah, personally.
So when you came here, did you know anybody over here who you were in touch with who would help you settle, or were you just on your own? Did you just come and land?
I come here just in my own, but once I came here, I can't rent apartment or something like that because I don't have credit card. So I seek help from Umar Abdulaziz, and he helped me.
Who?
To settle down. Umar Abdulaziz.
Oh, okay.
Umar Abdulaziz. That's an I think we're gonna. I'll look him up. So he's actually helping people. Is he also sort of a Saudi? He left from Saudi Arabia, and is he also a refugee, or does he help refugees?
Yeah, he is a refugee, and also he helped refugees.
So he himself is a Saudi descendant, but he's helping people get out of Saudi Arabia. Like he's from the Saudi family. Is that the same guy we're talking about? The same guy?
No. He's not from the Saudi family. He's
a normal guy.
Say that again.
He's just a normal guy.
Oh, he's just
a normal guy.
But from Saudi.
So he is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is he also an atheist ex-Muslim, or?
Wait, were we talking about a different guy just earlier than this guy?
No. No, we were talking about the same guy.
Okay. I think we have to dissident versus descendant. I think that's what the confusion is. This way, it's a dissident, not. Yeah. Okay. Go
So I have sorry. So is he also an ex-Muslim atheist, or does he just help? He isn't.
No.
Okay. Okay. So one thing, were you also in touch with people there? Did you know? So you said you were in Saudi Arabia and you were seeing things on the internet and you read about it, and that's when you became an atheist. But are there other atheists there that you're in touch with? Do they communicate with each other? Are there many other atheists in Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, there's a lot, but they can't expose themselves to anyone because in Saudi Arabia, if they expose themselves as atheists, they will be in a very dangerous situation.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, this brings us to one of our patrons is ask a question in the live chat. Renzo. His question is how much internal division is there in Saudi Arabia? Are there any secret underground resistance movements? Do liberal factions exist within the royal family or the clergy? So I guess it's a little bit different. So first, is there any underground so there's a lot of atheists, you're saying. How do you know that there's a lot of atheists? Do you talk to each other?
Yeah, because the account in Twitter, there's a lot of atheist people who talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a real statistic because I can't do that in Saudi Arabia. But there's a lot of accounts of Saudi account. They talk about atheists, atheists.
So back to Renzo's question. He's wondering if there's any. Do you know if there's any I think there's two questions. If there's any underground resistance movement, and also if there's any liberal factions within the family, the royal family, and the clergy.
Mm-hmm. So let's go one at a time. Are there any sort of secret groups of atheists or that ever meet or work together in Saudi Arabia that are working underground?
No, I don't think.
No, you should. Not that you know of. And are there sort of? Are there people?
Very dangerous.
It's very dangerous. Yeah.
And And are there people in the royal family or in the sort of religious clergy who are secretly, I guess you wouldn't know, right? Because they wouldn't say it. Or are there some people in the royal family, for instance, who are more liberal or?
Well, I think we wouldn't. She wouldn't know how. Yeah.
Wouldn't know. So I guess this is actually something that's really interesting because there are, I remember I was doing a talk and I met there was a Saudi girl there, and I met, and there's many I've met a lot of Saudi people in these talks. They come to them, and there was a Saudi girl there, and then there was another Saudi girl, and they met each other and they were friends, and they didn't know that the other was an atheist, and they had been friends for I don't know how long. They're like, we're really good friends. We grew up together, and I had no idea that you were also an atheist. So they were hiding it from each other as well for many, many years. Do you have any tips or advice for other people, especially women? Because men have it easier, right? Because they can just get on a plane and with a passport, but women can't go anywhere without permission. Do you have any tips for women that are trying to from Saudi Arabia that are trying to escape?
Exactly, no, because every girl, they depend on their family, how they deal with it, because some girls, they don't have even the passport.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they can. The only his guardian can issue the passport for her. So that is very difficult. But they may need they may try to get out from there, but I can't give them that special plan.
Right. So it's going to be different from everybody.
Yeah.
So, have your parents? Anybody in your family or your parents? Are they looking for you? Are they wondering where you are? Do they know?
I think they did that.
She's not in touch with them, so she doesn't know. But probably are. Yeah. So, question from live.
Sorry. But have they tried to get in touch with you? Has anybody tried to reach you? Any of your siblings or your parents?
Yeah, at the beginning, yes, but I didn't respond to them.
And what did they say when they tried to reach you?
They didn't say a lot. They just call me, "Hello, where are you?" Right. Hello, like that.
So Mervin from one of our patrons in the live chat is saying, question about racism. There are many Indian, Pakistani, and Filipino workers in Saudi Arabia. How does the Islamic regime justify their abuse? Isn't racism un-Islamic?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want
there is an Islamic, I think it's more sexism than racism.
Yes.
But you know that slavery, it's not forbidden in Islam.
Mm-hmm.
So there is another law in Saudi Arabia, like it's called kafala.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like enslaved. It's like a male guardianship for women.
Right.
Yes. So the person work there under kafala. They can't move or go to and work in another store or anything or do any unless the person who الشخص اللي كفله إنه يخليه يسافر أو إنه يشتغل شغلة ثانية. تمام.
The guy who sponsored the expat made her travel and control the movement.
Right. So the person who hires is the one who can they're completely under their control. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So we had. Oh, sorry. I mean, I'll finish this. Go ahead.
No. Just to be clear, Islam does not have racial supremacy in it. The supremacy is based on who's a Muslim and who's not. So the teaching is that you can't have a Muslim slave. Well, I think. You can't turn a free Muslim to a slave Muslim. You can't do that, right? So you have to be non-Muslims, I guess, to make them slaves. But I think people, a lot of things that we blame on Islam is true. But I think the racism that you see in Saudi Arabia, that's not from Islam. That's just from themselves, I guess, right? The supremacy, but again, Islam is tribalistic because it does believe that Muslims are superior to non-Muslims. It's a different kind of tribalism, is also shitty and bad. But any racism that you see in Muslims, that's not from Islam. That's from themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. But so we had this. We had actually a Bangladeshi guy who used to come to our house and just help us out a little bit with housework. And he was under the same situation where he was under a contract and he was not allowed to work anywhere else. So he used to have to come to our house secretly and he used to have to go back secretly. So he was, and there were a lot of people who actually did that. And once he invited us to his place and it was like a slum. There was sort of one small room and they had 4 or 5 people. It was like jail, where they were living, all these Bangladeshi employees and these guys. And he just invited us and they had a little get together when we were leaving. And I was amazed. It was literally like a prison with people just packed into small rooms. They tend to do that a lot.
What were you studying in a university in Saudi Arabia?
King Saud University. I studied there.
Mm-hmm. And what subject?
Clinical laboratory science.
What?
Oh, clinical
laboratory science. Yeah.
Wow. Why did you pick that? Is that your passion about that? Yeah.
Because at first I like medical department.
Mm-hmm.
So I choose laboratory because I met 2 girls who study laboratory. Right. I like them a lot, so I choose to be like them.
And are you able to do anything with that in Canada?
No, until now I don't. I don't assist my certificates because at first I want to learn English. Then I will see what I will do with my certificate.
And what's the was it an easy process to come here and get a refugee status? And is the process and get English classes? Is there a lot of support for that? Is the process straightforward? For somebody that just comes to Canada?
Yeah, it's clear. And it's very straightforward, but it takes time. It takes too long time, and sometimes it's postponed because there's a lot of refugees come here to Canada.
I actually so you saw on TV in Saudi Arabia, you saw on TV that Canada is welcoming refugees and they're very nice to them. So you picked Canada because of that. You saw on TV in Saudi Arabia. Is that where you saw this, or is it?
Yeah, I saw that in Ethiopia when I was in Saudi Arabia.
And what do you think about the people that say that the number of refugees now they're allowing in Canada is way too much, and the screening process is not as it should be tougher? What would you say to that?
مصطفى ايش قال؟
قال لك وش رايك في الناس اللي يقول لك ان عدد الرفيجين زايد وان المفروض القوانين لازم تكون اصرم واقوى؟
Okay. I don't know, because sometimes I feel that it should be more strict, because some people they just come here to take the citizenship of Canada, and they didn't have a serious condition. Yeah, for those person, yes, but the word like and Saudi Arabia and a lot of places like Syria and Iraq, they need to get a refugee because the countries there is very bad. So and Canada is very wide. So we can all of us being resident here.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
what do you mean? What was the last sentence? What was that?
I mean, the land is wide. I
Oh,
didn't know. Okay. لأنه كندا مرة مساحتها كبيرة وسكانها قليل يعني 30 مليون. فسكانها زي سكان السعودية ومساحتها أكبر من مساحة السعودية بكثير يعني. فيمدي إنه يستقبلون الناس أكثر.
Canada is a big country and with a small population. Therefore, the country can receive more people.
yeah, but most of it is frozen.
Yeah.
Only the part that is next to the U.S. The very small bottom part is.
But even then, if you think about it, again, Canada has less. All of Canada has less people than just California alone.
Yeah.
Which is pretty incredible, and just about 10 million more people than New York State. But yeah, that's true. I think Canada has been very good in this sense that there are people who are leaving Syria, who are leaving all these war-torn countries, and Canada has been very good at accepting them and helping them resettle and integrating them into the society. Of course, there are problems with it. There's a big debate about it, but I think that, I mean, along with you, we have talked to other people who have gone to other countries, for instance, and these are people who needed to leave, and now the good thing is that you're speaking here, and this podcast is actually listened to by many people in the Muslim world. So there will probably be many other, young women and young men who will hear what you're saying. And they will know, that there's a possibility. And when you speak out about the problems that you had because of Islam, because of Saudi Arabia, because of all of this, if there is someone there who is secretly thinking these things, they'll hear you and they'll say, okay, I'm not alone. There's somebody else who went through it. So I think that's why it is important to find, obviously, you vet them and you make sure that they have a good case. But that's why I think that bringing in refugees is important.
But here's what people would say from the opposing side. They would say, like, look, you escaped Saudi Arabia because of the values and religious extremism that they had there. Shouldn't we be careful not to let too many people here that will bring the same things that you were running away from to a country like Canada? For example, one example that just happened a week or two ago was this woman, a Yazidi woman that got refugee status. Went to Germany. I don't know if she got refugee status. I think she did. She met.
I read about that.
Yeah, she actually met her ISIS slave owner, like the person that owned her, in Germany. And she reported her, but nothing could be done to him because he was also a refugee. And she ran away back to Kurdistan, I think where she was from. I'm not sure, but because she was too afraid to stay in Germany. And they basically the argument is like, why would we let in more of what you ran away from? Right. So that's the argument.
Yeah.
But let her.
Yeah.
I saw that story. Because of that, I urge refugee board in Canada and Germany to look for, to make a search to know the history of every refugee gets in their country, because maybe ISIS member can become refugee there. That it's unfair, really.
Yeah. So, and that's what we're saying. I think the vetting is, I mean, I don't think there's any argument that we have to vet refugees. That, like, there are two extremes. Some people say, bring in everybody, and that's wrong because you have to vet them, right? And I think that's important. On the other hand, some people say, no, just we should have no refugees because if you bring in all of these, ISIS will come in too. But that's also wrong because when that happens, then people like you won't make it here, right? Or so there's there has to be. You can't
live freely at all.
Right.
Yeah, so there has to be a reasonable ground so people can hear your voice, because your voice, people can't hear your voice when you're in Saudi Arabia. There are probably millions of people like you in all of the Muslim world and the Arab world, and they nobody can hear their voice. But when you come here, then people can hear what your life is like, right? And they can get a sense of the reality. So I think it's really important to strike that balance.
So,
Armin.
So Ali mentioned at the beginning of the show that you're very active on Twitter with regards to, like, you're an activist, right? What are some of the things that you're passionate about, that you're advocating for, that you're telling your followers about? And what's your Twitter handle, by the way?
Okay. I actually on Twitter I just posted my daily life. It's and sometimes I talk about issues that in Saudi Arabia, and I talk about the women there, and sometimes like some issues that it's always repeated, and that's it. Because
So you bring So basically, you're bringing attention to women's condition in Saudi Arabia with your activism.
Yes, and I bring attention that how I live there and and how I was lived, because it's a very, very big difference between here and there.
So do you have a lot?
You tweet in Arabic? Sorry, you tweet in Arabic mostly?
Yeah. Almost in Arabic. I have very little bit.
So your main audience is women there, about how free they can be.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Go.
Yeah, and I show them how to. It's easy to live here, and it's not that difficult. What they think, like the Syrian women, that if you go out, you can't live, and you can't. And you will be homeless, and you will be like, and you will work in very, I don't know, that you work in very disrespectful job.
Like prostitute, like if you run away and go to the West, you're going to become a prostitute. Like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
That men are going to rape you in the street because you're not wearing a hijab. You're going to be raped in the street, and that kind of fear mongering.
Yeah, and they told the women that in Western country there's a lot of rape, and they harass the women, and they disrespect women, and and the women they have to be prostituted, I think, to get some money. So. Yeah. I told them that it's not true.
This is actually one of the things that's, my mother-in-law had lived in, just lived in Pakistan like all her life. And the first time she came here to Canada, she was amazed. She's like, wow, I can just walk out on the street and nobody's looking at me. There's people just walking away. That was the one thing that she was completely shocked at. She's like, I can go here. I can go into a crowd. There are a lot of people, and nobody's doing anything. I don't have to watch out to see if anybody touches me. Or she was completely shocked. And I think that's what. Do you have a lot of followers from Saudi Arabia on your Twitter?
Yeah, almost all my followers from Saudi Arabia.
Really? You actually have a big. How many followers do you have? You have a lot of followers.
Yeah, 12,000.
12,000, and most of that is from Saudi Arabia. That's amazing. What's your Twitter handle, in case people are curious?
No, they just look at my story because they are very curious to see that, there's a girl who escaped from Saudi Arabia.
Right.
And maybe almost all of them are bullying. Bully?
Yeah, bullying, yeah. Most of them are harassing you from... Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and they try to frustrate me.
Right. Do you get rape threats and death threats?
Do you get threats? Like...
Yes, right. Okay. Yeah. They told me that they will bring me back to Saudi Arabia, and they will be punish me there. And they told me that there's someone will come here to Canada and kill me.
Right.
And
yeah, I would be surprised if that did not happen.
No, but but is it? Are you concerned about it? Like, are they, when someone says that someone will come to Canada and kill you? Are you? Do you worry about that, or?
At first, yes, because I don't know anything about Canada, but with the time, I feel that they are just try to make me lived in feared situation. I don't know.
Yeah. They're just trying to intimidate you. Just keyboard warriors. So there are 3 more questions in the live chat from our patrons. One of them, Mervin is asking, what are your opinions? Maybe you want to translate this because I'm going to read it fast. What are your opinions of common people in Saudi Arabia, of kings and princes traveling to Western countries and participating in parties, women and alcohol and other haram, quote unquote haram things? Is that common knowledge? Like, do most people know?
وش رأيك في الناس اللي في السعودية اللي من الناس يعني العادية والناس من الأسرة الحاكمة اللي يطلعوا برا ويحتفلوا ويشربوا كحول وهالشغلات؟ هذا الشيء يعني مشهور في السعودية والناس كلهم يسوونه.
هل هو مشهور يعني؟
إيه.
Yeah, that it's very famous and but they إنه هو مشهور بس إنهم جالسين يستشرفون يسوون هذه الأشياء كلها برا، ولما يجون للسعودية تشتغل الطواها عندهم. تمام.
Yeah, they go outside of the country. They do whatever they want, and when they go back, they show themselves as the perfect people who don't commit any sins or whatever.
We used to go to when I was in Saudi Arabia. Sometimes when we went to Dhahran, we would take the highway to Bahrain. So you guys already know what I'm talking about. So we'd go to Bahrain, and it was full of these like sort of a lot of Saudi men. They're just drunk as hell, and just with all the women, because Bahrain is actually much more open. Alcohol is legal and so on. So they'd go to the hotels, they'd just be drinking and doing all this stuff, and then they would drive back. But I think that they got around that time they got strict, where the police started checking when they were coming back.
So Lewis is asking, if you found any atheist group here in Canada that you can socialize with?
Yeah. No, I didn't find.
Okay. Then if you haven't found one, and if you want to find a group, go to Ex-Muslims of North America, go to their website and fill out an application there. They're very good with screening and making sure the groups are secret. So you're not going to be it's not a public group. Like if you want to meet other ex-Muslim atheists in secret, they will introduce you to a group local close to you in North America, and that way you could meet other atheists around you. So ex-Muslim.
That's great.
Yeah. So ex-Muslim of North America. That's the website. Okay, go on. Sorry.
Right. So I was gonna say that there are many. So over here, what happens is a lot of sort of ex-Muslim atheists. They do get together. They have meetups. They get together in sort of just restaurants and bars, and they meet maybe once a month. So you can actually meet a lot of people. There are many people from Saudi Arabia as well. So there are people from Saudi Arabia. I've met Saudis there. There's ex-Muslims in North America has hundreds and hundreds. Well, I think thousands now, right?
I don't know.
Of members. I'm not sure, but
every city, every major city should have one.
Yeah. There's another group that, there's Muslimish. I mentioned them on this podcast a lot. They tend to have a lot more people from the Arab world as well.
Right.
So they're focused on people. Yeah.
See, Muslimish and Atheist Republic also have local chapters, but the thing about ex-Muslim of North America is that they go actually through a screening process, and their gatherings are secret. So
they keep everything the security is excellent.
So for anybody that wants to find a group that without other people knowing that they're atheists, ex-Muslim of North America is the place to go. So, and Jim is asking, there has been a lot of talk about sexual harassment during Hajj this year. Does she find this to be the case? Oh, yeah, it's definitely the case. And is there a lot of sexual harassment in normal day life? So there's two questions. First of all, have you been to Hajj?
No.
No? Okay. So, the question is that, do you know if it's true that in Hajj there's sexual harassment, right?
Yeah.
It's true.
I heard about that.
You heard about that. You heard about it in Saudi Arabia, right?
Yeah, because when I was in the class and at King Saud University, an Islamic class, the teacher asked girls to who faces the harassment to raise her hand. So almost all girls raised their hand. Me and maybe 2 or 3 girls left because we didn't do the Hajj.
Wow! So every woman that had went to Hajj raised their hand that they experienced sexual harassment. Every single one of them. The only woman that did not experience sexual harassment were the ones that have not went to the Kaaba yet.
Yeah, we go to the Kaaba for the Umrah.
Oh, you went for Umrah? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you went to Kaaba for Umrah, but not for Hajj.
Yeah, for Umrah, and it's in the time that when Kaaba is empty.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's much safer when people are not there.
Yeah, and all my family surrounded me.
Yeah, that's so they know.
Basically, if you're a woman and you go to if there's a close to 100% guarantee for you to get sexually harassed if you're a woman and you go to Hajj.
Yeah.
Okay.
And some of them, they told us that no, it's not harassment, but they feel like harassment because they are very crowded and
everybody's touching and all of that. Yeah, it does happen that way.
But can't you tell the difference between people touching and actually being harassed? So wait, so people that are making excuses for it, they're saying it's not harassment, people are just getting
they make that an excuse. And they told me that, we feel like someone touched us from behind, but it's not real because it's some people, so collision.
So this is the women are saying somebody grabbed us, and basically the men are telling them that you made a mistake, that this was not a sexual harassment. You're just imagining things.
Yes.
Right. Okay. I get it. Shit.
Yeah. So that's
I think
they make excuses for everything.
Yeah. I think somebody could tell if they're being, somebody's grabbing their ass or it was an accident. I think people could tell the difference.
We used to go for Umrah like almost every year. And one of the things, our shoes would always get stolen. The shoes would get stolen. And because you have to wear when you're wearing the ihram, right? The 2 cloths, then people would sometimes wear the belt, the fanny pack with their money in it. And then people would just go and they'd steal your money as well. I mean, it happens a lot.
I just want to point out how such a dumb excuse that was that people say, because you have to understand for a Muslim woman that is going to Hajj, if this is their first experience to Hajj, this is such a spiritual and holy and divine experience. They are getting close to God. They would not come out and say that I've been sexually harassed. This is such a shocking experience. I think if it's something like somebody just bumping into you, they would, even if it was kind of like they're not sure, they would be more encouraged in their own mind to say it wasn't a sexual harassment, because this is such a shocking experience for all of them, for somebody to do that to them so close to the house of God. Like, nobody would, I mean, based on what I know, it would be bizarre for somebody to say that if actually something shocking didn't happen to them, right? This is not something they would want to come out and say, right? Am I reading this right?
Yeah, that's exactly. They're shocked, and they lose their trust to the religion a little bit. But they're still Muslim. But I feel that they feel like Islam. It's not. Islam. It's not like the history, and Islam. It's ruined now, and they think like that.
Right, because the Kaaba is like the purest thing in their mind to them, and it just drops from that pedestal they put it on. It just comes down on earth for them when that happens to them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. So what you're saying is that they feel like the historical Islam, the original Islam, has been lost and it's been ruined by these people.
Yeah,
who
by
just take
this
advantage.
new generation. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right. So they make an excuse in their mind as well. That this is the new Muslims. Islam didn't used to be like this. It just got ruined by the people today. That's what they think in their mind.
Yes, and this the new Muslims is not represent the Islam, and only the Muslims in the history.
Because they can't. Yeah, okay. Everybody has to come up with a reason to not throw away their whole sacred cows, right? I guess. Yeah. But go on. Sorry.
So I wanted to. I wanted to make another. Sort of switch over to some of the political situation over there. Just in the sense that, there's been a lot of development happening in Saudi Arabia over the last year or so. So we've had the rise of the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. He has given women the right to vote in 2015. He has also, given women the right to drive, and he's making all these reforms that people are saying, and he's saying that he wants to end corruption, but at the same time he's spending, $500 million on paintings and the war in Yemen. There's still a big war happening in Yemen, and there are all these children who are dying with U.S. support, obviously. So how are people there? You're an ex-Muslim atheist, and you're a woman who wants to be free. You say that you have a lot of followers on Twitter who want to do the same thing, who are in Saudi Arabia. How do they see Mohammed bin Salman? Are they positive about him, or are they negative?
No, I think almost of them, it's negative, because he is very dictator, and he arrested every person. He arrested women rights activists, and he arrested every religious person, and he arrested everyone.
Yeah.
So just to give context, he arrested Samar Badawi, who's Raif Badawi's sister, who was a women's rights activist, and who got a Courage Award from Women Courage Award from the Department of Justice of the United States, even, and they put her in jail. Even while they allowed the women to drive, which was a cover for
all the nonsense they do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he allowed the women to drive a car, but he arrested all the women who was active to get
that right.
To get that right.
Oh,
yeah.
What?
Like Lujain Hadlul and
go on.
Aziz Al Yusuf. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Lujain Hadlul and Aziz Al Yusuf.
Oh yeah. And Jim is also asking our patron in the live chat. By the way, thank you so much for our patrons for making these shows possible. Jim is asking, what do people think about the war in Yemen? What do they hear and what do they think about it? The Saudis' war on Yemen.
Yeah, and they think that Iran, who fund
the Houthis.
Houthi,
yeah,
Houthis, and the war because it's between, like, I think it's Shia and Sunni. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And almost all of them, they agreed with that because Houthi is not a good person. I don't know.
They think that Houthis are Shias and backed by Iran, and that's why this war is justified.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think do you think this is because of government selling that idea to them? Mostly? Do you think that this is
Mustafa,
government? Yeah, Mustafa. So do you think... Yeah, go on.
تعرف ان الحكومة تحاول ان تبيعهم هذه الفكرة، ان فكرة ان الحرب بين الشيعة والسنة هذه الشغلات.
I don't know exactly.
Yeah, okay.
But I think yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because we study when we are in the school, they told us that Shia is very bad person, and even they are worse than Yahud, Judaism.
Jewish people.
Jewish people. Yeah.
So they okay. Figure this is okay. For people that don't know. This is two things. First of all, how hated Shias are and how hated Jews are, because this is the statement is that the Shias are so bad that they're even worse than the Jews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they taught you this in school.
Yeah, and we have to hate them to be Muslim.
Okay.
You have to hate them.
So not only Shias are not Muslim, you're not Muslim if you don't hate the Shias.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So,
all right.
is it? Sorry, I have a question, Mustafa. You are one of the rare people who is Saudi and Shia, right? You come from Shia background.
No, ex-Shia.
Correct.
Yeah. So, did you? What? Just really quickly, and we would love to talk to you about this later on too. But just to give context to what Salwa is saying, what was it like being Shia in Saudi Arabia?
You know, you face discrimination on daily basis through school. If you go to school, like through studying the books on the Hadith, they are saying like Shia are infidels. They worship, they worship graves.
Mm-hmm.
They don't call for God. They call for God through someone like Ali.
Yeah. And
yeah.
So that's, and how many Shias I know there are a lot of them in Eastern Saudi Arabia, but how many Saudi Shias, what percentage is it? Do you know?
They are around 15%.
Yeah.
Around
the problem for Saudi Arabia is that they're in mostly the oil-rich areas. So,
yes, correct.
So that's why it scares the shit out of Saudi Arabia, because if Iran manages to start an uprising in the Shia areas of Saudi Arabia, basically they're going to completely bankrupt Saudi Arabia. But did you meet any Shias in school? Do you want to translate? Yeah.
سلوى قابلتي شيعة في المدرسة؟ قابلتي شيعة؟
Did you meet any Shias at all?
No.
قابلتي شيعة؟
No, I don't.
Okay.
I think they only lived in the western of Saudi Arabia. They don't live in Riyadh.
Right.
Or maybe they are Shia, but they don't told me that.
Do they?
Yeah, they hide their. I don't know.
Do they consider all Shias to be Iran's agents?
No.
No?
They are not. No, I don't think.
Mustafa, you want to say?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. Like I went to Iran before. Right. Okay. When I go to Iran, they tell me that I am from Arabistan. And when I go to Saudi, they tell me that I am from Iran.
I'll be back in just a second.
Oh my God.
All right, no worries. Okay. Ali has to attend. So, an emergency. So, this is actually a very interesting, because Iran does try to use Shias in Saudi Arabia, at least tried to use Shias in Saudi Arabia in early after the revolution to start an uprising. Do you guys know about that? But that was crushed, right? Immediately.
1979.
Yes, 1979. But also Saudi Arabia is trying to I don't think Iran is doing that anymore. I think Iran is mostly interested in Iraq and Syria right now, and the Shias there. But I'm sure they would love for the Shias in Saudi Arabia to do another uprising at one point, which is very cruel of them, because they know what will happen to Shias in these countries once the government retaliates, right?
Yeah.
But Saudi Arabia does that to the Sunnis in Iran. Right? So they have like this TV channel called Kalama, which is like a Sunni Wahhabi TV channel in Farsi, directed to Sunnis in Iran, trying to get them to uprise against the government. So they both play the same games.
They speak about Ahwaz all the time.
Yes. Exactly. But so Ahwaz is basically the city right in the middle of the more Arabic. But Iran has a few provinces that are more Sunni. But that one is also Arab, and it's also right next to other Arab countries. So that's the best potential for Saudi Arabia to start some shit to get to people to maybe get some autonomy or try to get separatists from the government. But yeah. Have you guys heard about any of these, like the Sunnis in Iran and trying to bring them back to the Arab world or something like that? You have the Arabs? No. Okay. By the way, Iranians are very anti-Arab. Unfortunately, there's a lot of yeah. Did you experience that in Iran?
I went to Iran 4 times, and each time I stayed there for about a month. So. Yeah. I have an idea what you are talking about.
Sorry about that, man.
It's
yeah, so well, this is a good thing, because now we have Sunnis and ex-Sunnis and ex-Shias and Saudi ex-Shias, Saudi ex-Sunni, and everybody's getting along here on Secular Jihadists. We have one thing that this is a good thing.
Can you translate this? Because I think she didn't understand me when I said this. What's your Twitter handle for people that are interested in finding you and following you?
سألوا وش التويتر يوزر نيم حقش؟
Twitter username is ms_dimples DIMPLES 94.
Okay. We will link to that once the YouTube version and the podcast version of this comes. We will link to it in the description for people to be able to find you and reach out to you. Go on, Ali. Sorry.
So Salwa, what are your plans now that you're in Canada? I know you said you're trying to improve your English, but what do you want to do in terms of university? Do you want to be more activist? Do you want to what are your plans now that you're in Saudi Arabia? I mean, now that you're in Canada, not Saudi Arabia.
That's a nightmare.
Freudian. Yeah.
I am here exactly for 4 months, but until now I didn't know exactly what I want to do. But I may continue my master's degree in clinical laboratory science. And first I want to improve my English. And if I want to be an activist, I will be activist in women's rights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because women need to. We need to improve the women's situation in the world, and I hope to participate in that.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Especially in Saudi Arabia, because I want to expose the situation there more to the world, because they think they allow the woman to drive, that it's everything, but it's not, because the male guardianship, it should be end, and there is a custody called Dar Riaya. It's it's the worst place in the world, because they arrested the woman there and hold them there forever, and they can't have a phone or anything or to contact the people outside. They are totally hidden there, and if the women go there, no one can know about them anything. And there's some people talk about recently they talk about this prison some of them they sold
I'm sorry. So can you lean a little bit closer to the phone? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. So we can hear you better. Yeah.
Okay. And some of women there they told us that this prison sold the women to the rich people or the person who are in charge.
They
And
sold the women to them in Saudi Arabia. This is
because they give them money and let the girl to go out, especially the girls who his family do not want them anymore.
Wait, what the hell? They sold the prison to who?
No, the prison. No, the girls. They sold the.
They sold the girls.
Oh.
In the prison.
Yeah.
To the people who are rich and in charge, like
in charge.
Babel.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying that? So what is the name of this place again? It's called Darul
Riaya.
Darul Riaya, and so this is the place that. Oh no, I was saying this is the place where you said that if you had gotten caught, they would send you there, right? So so what happens is, so these women who are stuck there, if their male guardians want them out, they can take them out. That's the only way they can get out. But if they don't, then they stay there pretty much forever, and sometimes they are sold to sort of rich people.
Yes, if their family do not want to ask about her anymore, and they forget them, and they told them that this is girl, it's not my girl. They sold the girl to the rich people in Saudi Arabia, and we see some girl. And there's a girl. We see her picture in Twitter, and they told us that she is missed, and she is not. She is in the Dar Riaya, and she's saved, and no one knows where she is.
Okay. You know, if let us know if you any kind of activism that you do, if you need more attention to it, please message us and let us know so that we could share it with our audience as well.
Yeah, there's some trend hashtag they talk about them, but because it's there is a lot of people that very very rich in Saudi Arabia, and they have more powerful. So they just some tweets and some account is get banned and suspended. Yeah.
I can't suspended by who? By Twitter?
I don't know, by Twitter or someone they threats them to close their account.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god! All right. Do you know Rana Ahmed by any chance?
Yeah, I know. I know her.
Are you guys in touch at all?
No.
Okay. Because she's doing a lot of activism on this as well, so maybe you guys could talk and see if there's any kind of mutual work that you could do. But at any point, if you wanna, if there's something that needs more people paying attention to it, please message us. Please send us the tweet or the link or whatever, and for us to share it and post it. Any campaigns or anything like that. Please send it our way.
Yes, I will do that because that place is very very bad place, and the girls there it's totally voiceless. They don't have a voice,
If you could, supposing if your family was watching this, or if your friends in Saudi Arabia were watching it, what would you want to say to them?
I want to say to them that I still Salwa. I'm not a different person, and even if I change my religion, especially for my friend, because there's two of my friends, they left me and they don't talk to me anymore. I am Salwa. That's who you know when I was in the school.
Right.
Yeah. And I just changed my religion. I didn't change myself at all.
So we have there's one more question in the live chat from our patron. Should that be the last question, I think? Okay.
Yeah, okay, we can do that.
Okay.
So Renzo is asking, is there anything that the European Union or the United States or United Nations can do? Is there anything they can do to improve human rights in countries like Saudi Arabia? Or can change only come from within the society? So is there any that the US or Europe can do to help, or will the change in Saudi Arabia happen with the Saudi people themselves? Or do they need outside help?
I think both of them, they can work together. People in Saudi Arabia, they have to be more courageous to talk about the women's situation in Saudi Arabia, and even if that's because if there's a lot of people speak about that, they can't arrest all of the people. But if there's only a few people talk, I think that it's valuable.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and United States and they can do that and make a pressure. Yeah.
Are you disappointed at all by how much Western countries pressure Saudi Arabia regarding their human rights violations? Mustafa?
انت الحين وش اسمه شعرتي يعني بخيبة امل لما وش اسمه البلدان الثانية قاموا ودافعوا عن حقوق الانسان عشان السعودية؟
No, I don't.
You're not disappointed?
No, that's great. If there's people not suffering and care about people who suffered, that means that world is good.
Yeah.
I think my question,
well, we're saying something like, I think what Armin was trying to get to is like, you know how in the United States, because they are very good friends with Saudi Arabia because of the oil, right? Like they're dependent on them. So sometimes the United States, they don't say anything to Saudi Arabia. They just stay quiet. They don't bother them. And even in Canada, I mean, you know about this latest situation where in Canada, they said.
But that was, let's see if she has something to say about that. Like the fact that the United States doesn't pressure Saudi Arabia because they're buddies.
Yeah, Mustafa, do you think you can explain that better?
Yes, please. أمريكا ما تسوي شيء للسعودية لأنها أصدقاء وقاعد تدافع عنهم زين ولا تقول لهم حاجة علشان حقوق الإنسان. فما رأيك بهذا الشيء؟ أمريكا مفروض إنه تحط برشر على السعودية ولا لا؟
أيوة المفروض بس أحيانا المال يحكم كل شيء.
This is how it's supposed to be. The US should pressure Saudi in order to release a human rights activist, but now money is ruling the world.
Okay. See, that's what And I know I said last question, but I want to just ask one last question from Jim as well, but that's the last question. What do you think of...
I have a question after that, though.
Okay. Yeah. What do you think of Iran, and is there propaganda against Iran? Of course there is propaganda against Iran and Israel and Saudi. So what are the... I think we already covered the propaganda against Iran in Saudi Arabia, but what's the propaganda against Israel in Saudi Arabia? And what's your views on Iran?
وش الحملة الإعلامية اللي ضد إسرائيل في السعودية وش هي رأيك في إيران؟
No, I think Saudi become more alongside with Israel.
Yeah.
Yeah, but لكن في إيران لسه باقي في عداوة وبغضاء يعني مستمرة إلى يوم القيامة.
There is hostility between Iran and Israel.
Right. But are people in Saudi Arabia upset with their government that the government is getting closer to Israel?
الحكومة في السعودية زعلانة لأن يعني الحكومة السعودية قاعدة تقرب من الحكومة الإسرائيلية.
Yeah, there's some people agreed with that, some people not.
Okay, so it's mixed results. Okay. Ali, last question.
I had a question and I can't remember. I think it was related to one of the other ones here, and now I can't recall it. I totally forgot it. Okay. But if I do, I'll
well, you don't have time, so because it was supposed to be the last question. Anyway, so that was good. Thank you so much. This was great. I'm going to end the live streaming. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Renzo. Thank you, Luis, Mervin, Renzo. I think I already said, and Jim. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. And yeah, thank you so much for Mustafa for translating. And this was very enlightening. So thank you so much.
This was really good. Thank you so much, Salwa. I really appreciate it. And this is your first sort of podcast interview that you've done?
Yes.
Yeah. So once you become a very famous human rights activist, we can tell people that this was the first time you came out here. So we're gonna get. And
I want to say that I think that you on your Twitter you just post pictures of your daily life, but when I see that and I see that you came from Saudi Arabia and I know the way that you had to live over there, and then you're coming here just daily, just walking down the street. The way that you flaunt it, I think is really inspiring, and it's also really brave the way that you got out of there. And I think you have a very bright future. I hope you keep on doing the work that you're doing. And if you need any help from us in any way, just let us know.
Oh, mercy. And I think you're a source of inspiration and hope for a lot of other women out there. So thank you so much for what you're doing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The secular jihadists have been made possible thanks to the Illuminati and the covert support of Israel and the CIA. That's what we have been told, but we haven't received our checks yet. If you like what we do, please support us. Share the podcast with your friends. Write and tweet us with topic and guest suggestions. Or head over to secularjihadist.com and give $1 or more for exclusive access to live video. Have your questions read and answered on the air and more. Till next time, may the flying spaghetti monster be with you.